Hello, great minds. In today's lesson, we have a senior Olympiad mathematics question to solve. And in this logarithmic equation, we want to evaluate for the value of m. So guys, I'm going to be showing you all the laws of logarithm that you need to solve this particular problem. Of course, if you're ready, I am ready, and let us go right into the problem together. So guys, the first thing I want you to know from the laws of logarithm, if I have log a, and this time the base of the logarithm has an exponent. So let's say b to the power n. Take note. Now I'm going to evaluate this guy as 1 over n log a base b. What do you observe? The n power of the base will go behind the logarithm as a rational expression. That is one thing you should have in mind. So the next one I want you to have in mind is if I have log a to the n, then base b. This time now, or let's say base to a to the n. But in this time, the input of the logarithm or the argument of the logarithm has the power n. Now, you're going to have it as m log a base b. What do you observe? The power of the input or the argument comes behind as just a whole number. But for the base of the logarithm, it comes behind as an inverse expression. Okay, so have this in mind. This is the key things you need to solve this problem. So if you're thinking what I'm thinking, you definitely see what is going to happen right here. Okay, so let us go to this problem. Now we know we have 25 here. See what's going to happen. We're going to have this 25 come behind the logarithm as 1 over 25. So that becomes 1 over 2025, sorry, times what we now have here, which is 2025 log the square root of 2025 base 2. Remember, the power of this base has traveled behind the logarithm as 1 over 2025. Does it make sense? So that this guy, we cancel out this guy, and now you're just having log the square root of 2025 base 2. So let's just stop at that very point. Okay. Now the next thing we want to do, we want to simplify the next logarithmic expression, which is this guy 2 over log 2 base square root of 2025. So let me clear up these guys from here. Or do I need to clear up? Okay, maybe no problem. I should just leave it like that. Now, observe something. I don't like the fact that I have the logarithm of this expression to be square root of 2025. I prefer it should be 2 because if you look at this one, the base of this logarithm is 2. And look at this one, the base of this logarithm is 2025. I don't want it that way. I want it to be 2. So I'm going to switch the input of the logarithm to become the base and the base to become the input. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. Now see the law that shows us it's possible. If I have log a base b, and this time I want to switch a to b and b to a, that becomes 1 upon log b base a. Does it make sense? So whenever you want to switch, the logarithm turns out to become an inverse expression of itself. Does it make sense? So if it makes sense, then you know what we can do right here. So just forget about the 2 here. Just forget about this 2 here. So that becomes 2 upon, so let's switch this guy. That becomes 1 upon log square root of 2025 base 2. Perfect. We have just switched the base to become the input and the input to become the base. So to this very point, let us now clean up this expression so it looks very well. Of course, you know you have 2, this is like saying 2 divided by 1 upon log root 2025 base 2. That is all what this guy implies, right? This is like 2 divided by 1 over log. So that is exactly what we have. Then you change division to multiplication. So that becomes 2 times. You now invert these guys when you change division to multiplication. So you have log square root of 2025 base 2 all over 1. So it doesn't really matter to say over 1. So we just have 2 log square root of 2025 base 2. Does it make sense? So guys, let me clean up some part of this screen so we can move further. Yeah, perfect. So from this very point, let me clean up this guy from here, please. So we already have these guys to be log square root of 2025 base 2. And now these guys now become plus 2 log, because this is what it is right now. 2 log square root of 2025 base 2. Very good. Equal to log m base 2. Now let us clear up all of this stuff right here. Let us clear up all of this stuff right here. Perfect. So now you see how important the laws of logarithm are. Once you understand the laws of logarithm, I don't think you have any problem with any logarithmic equation or logarithmic expressions to solve. Now, to this very point, we are almost at the answer. So this is like 1 of this quantity plus 2 of this quantity. 1 of this quantity plus 2 of this quantity will give us 3 of those quantities, right? That becomes 3 log the square root of 2025 base 2 equal to log m base 2. You can see we've just resolved all of this bulky logarithmic equation to just this simple stuff we have right here. Now, the next thing I want to do from here, I would like to take this power of 3 back to the exponent. Remember, I told you earlier, if I have log a to the n base b, this can be written as n log a base b. So if I have this guy, I can also reverse it to this. So I can also take the m back to the input or to the argument. So I want to take this 3 back to this exponent. So that becomes what? Let's clean up these guys. Yeah, so that becomes, that's going to become log the square root of 2025 all to the power 3, then base 2. I just reversed the whole process, right? Then equal to log m base 2. Now, to this very point, I'm sure you're already seeing the answer. Now we have log of this expression and we have log of this expression. What do you observe? The two logarithms have the same base as 2. So if I want to get rid of this logarithm, I can just, let me show you another law that's going to help us. If I have log, let's say a base b, okay? If I have this kind of expression, log a base b, if I want to get rid of this logarithm, I can just take the base b for both sides and it will cancel out this logarithm. So in other words, if I take the base of 2 for both sides, this 2 is going to cancel out this logarithm, and these 2 cancel out this logarithm. So now I'm having just the square root of 2025 to the power 3, and that is equal to n. Just like that. Just like that. Another way you can think of this problem, let me show you something else. Another way you can think of this problem, maybe you don't understand this process, or somehow you've not been taught how to eliminate logarithm like this, but then you still need this concept. We have this whole expression like this, okay? Now, usually when I have log, let's say a base b equal to, let's say, n, if I want to remove the logarithm from here, this b will take this guy as its power, so we have something like a is equal to b to the power n, right? Perfect. So if you want to remove this logarithm from here, these 2 will take this logarithm as its power. So you now have the square root of 2025 to the power 3 is equal to 2 log m base 2. Now, when you have 2 log m base 2, these 2 can take care of this logarithm. So now you now have the square root of 2025 base 3, to the power 3 is equal to n. So this is the answer to this problem. So guys, if you don't understand why this is happening, just let me know in the comment section. Put in the timestamp and I'll go ahead and create a video that will explain this concept for you guys. So the answer to this problem is going to be option C. Yeah, option C is the correct answer to this problem. So guys, if you find value from this video, of course, you know what to do. Subscribe to this channel, share this video to other learners, and I'll see you in the next class. Have a wonderful day and God bless you. Bye-bye.